Hey YouTube, what is going on today, guys? We have another installation video for you today. It's one that you guys have actually requested quite a bit. I see a lot of comments floating around about this one, and I actually did film a video on it a while ago. I just didn't end up posting it because I didn't think the footage was that great. So bear in mind, when you watch the video today, you're gonna see a lot of weird stuff like my long ass hair from when I did film it. But we're going to be showing you how to relocate the gauges from your tank up to your bars so that you can see them better, or I don't know, some people just like the aesthetics of that a little bit better. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video today. If you do, drop a like, drop a follow, hit the notification bell. As I say, all the good YouTube stuff. It really helps me out, and I really want to build this channel up to the point that I can spend more time on it. But in order to do that, I need to have more followers, essentially. So tell you what, once we get up to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I'm gonna be running a giveaway. It's not gonna be anything too massive, but it's gonna be for you guys for just subscribing to the YouTube channel. And also, if you wouldn't mind, going and checking out my Instagram as well, dropping a follow over there. That's probably where I'm gonna post a little bit more info on it, because I don't wanna dedicate a whole video just to, you know, the little initial giveaway. Well, maybe I will, I don't know, we'll see. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today, and I will catch you in the next one. Later.
Alrighty guys, so step one in this process, obviously, in relocating the gauges is to remove them from the current gauge cluster. So in order to do that, it's just 3 little screws. That's all that's holding the dash down. And then after that, you'll be able to actually get at what we need, which is the wiring harnesses behind the gauges. So once you have your dash removed, you can see all we're doing here, we're just gonna unplug the 2 wiring harnesses from the 2 gauges, and then there's these 2 little plastic retainers that you have to just carefully unsnip. Don't, you know, careful not to cut any wires, but you won't need those anymore.
So real quick, guys, I just want to show you kind of what this looks like when you actually take it all off. Basically, you've got 2 screws on either side of the gauges. Obviously, just take those off, and then I actually have some block off plates from Harry Customs, so shout out to him. And all you're gonna do, there's 2 screws, like I said, take those out, replace it with whatever block off plates you're gonna put in there, and other than that, really simple. I'm not gonna go into detail on it. You guys can remove screws. If you need a more detailed video of both of these installs, both Speed Kings and Harry Customs actually has 2 videos that are really helpful on it, so I will link those in the description and you guys can check it out. But for now, we're gonna get back to my video. So
now comes the fun part. So we're going to be undoing the wiring harness from where we just unplugged it. You can find the back of the wire right at the front of the tank. There's a little opening in the frame that you run all the wires through. What you're gonna do from there, you're gonna attach the cable extension from Gorilla Cables, and I think it's easier if you start to kind of fix where all the wires go now. You can see I'm kind of, you know, forcing them back into the neck there. You just wanna kind of get everything back in place and cleaned up, and then you're gonna route your wires up through the triple tree, up to the top of the risers, wherever you're gonna want it to sit. It's a little bit of a process, but just be patient with it, don't force it, and you'll get it in time. Next big thing we're gonna do is actually install the gauge housing. So in order to do that, obviously we need to take out the top 2 bolts from the risers, but you're actually gonna wanna loosen all 4 of them. Not too much so that your bars start rotating, but enough that when you reinstall the 2 screws, you're not just torquing down and tightening those 2 bolts and loosening those 2 bolts, because you're gonna do weird things to your clamp. You wanna make sure that you're tightening all of the bolts down evenly. So loosen the other 2 a little bit, but obviously you just have to remove the top 2, put in the gauge housing, and then replace the 2 screws. That way, when you put everything back in, now it's all good to go, everything's even, and your risers still have the same amount of clamp force on the bars that they had before. After you get the gauge housing actually assembled and put on the risers, it's time to actually put the gauges into the gauge housing. So In order to do that, you first need to add the 2 gaskets onto the front of the gauges. Those are the only 2 parts that Speed Kings doesn't include in their kit. You have to get those from Harley-Davidson directly. They have part numbers on the website, so really easy. After you do that, go ahead and plug the gauges back into the wiring extension and then run them through the 2 little slots that Speed Kings provides in their kit, so you know exactly where the wires are gonna go. Be sure to attach them to the correct sides, and then add the gaskets to the back and seal them up with the back plates. Really simple. Just make sure not to over tighten the backing plate, because you don't want to squish the gasket and create, you know, kind of an imbalance in the weather seal so that water can actually end up leaking in there. You want to make sure that it's nice and snug, but not over tighten it. And then as soon as you get done with that, just same thing on the other side. I found the left side to be a little bit trickier just because it didn't have as much of the plastic backing as the Speedo side, but you'll figure it out. And then last but not least is just going to be to replace the dash. Now, when you're doing this, you've already put your block off plates back on, so it's all ready to go. You just replace those 3 screws that you took out in the first place and you're good to go. All right, guys, so there it is. All mocked up. You can see, I think it looks really, really solid. Come around here and take a look at it. Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, it's perfect. Comes right up, you can see, right to the top of the windshield. Yeah, I think it looks really, really good. I'm really excited to actually have my gauges mounted up there. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the install, and we'll see you in the next one.